variable clearly. For new creation of data variable, we have to click on the add data variable. It will give the list of data entities which we can use.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to M.Shakir. We are covering the topic developing apps with SAP Build App using drag and drop facility. So, in my previous video, we did introduction, what are SAP Build App and what is the history of it. After that, we discussed the main features and then we discussed the pros and cons of this SAP Build App. Then we started the topics. First of all, we did getting started with SAP Build App. It had a separate video, and then I made a separate video for building the user interface UI. And now we are doing the topic number 3, that is using variable. So let's do the quick recap of what we have done. As we have explained the key feature of SAP Build App in my previous video. We did building application and then how we get started with the SAP Build App with a very effective and very attracting environment of SAP Build App. And then we have explored building the UI, the subtopics of this main topics that are using properties, applying style and theme. We did practically in my previous video. If you didn't watch that videos, do go to the playlist and must watch before continue from this video.
Today we are covering the specific topic, that is the using of variable in the development of app in the environment of SAP Build App. So we have covered so far the two topics before, applying themes and applying the user interface, how to create a user interface in SAP Build App. In this video we will cover the following topics: describe the need for variables, why we need variables and what is the purpose of variables. After that we will discuss the key use cases for variables, and then the data types we will explore. After that we will discover the different types of data types. After that we will explain what are the different benefits of data type in the field of SAP Build App. Then we will find the differentiate between app and page variables. After that we will create an app variable and a page variables. Then we will discuss the various type of data variables and their uses, and finally we will create data variables. So let's begin. First of all, explaining the need for variables. Why we need variables? What are the role of variables in the development of app? We will find practically later on in this video. So let's first discuss what are the need of variable. The variable provide a place in your app to store temporary data until you need to display or read it or send it to somewhere else, for example to a backend system. At this point we know that we have to store some data for the development of app and for maintaining the flow of app, for displaying the data or doing some calculation, and also we use the variable for sending the data to somewhere else, to other system or to other applications. You can use the variable to store data retrieved from an external data source and information about the current user such as email, name, and user preferences for the app while the app is running, such as preferred home page, favorite baseball team, and so on. Also we use the variables for maintaining the information about the current product that is being displayed on the current page. Let's move on. Here are the main 4 types of variables. Number 1 is app variable, and number 2 is page variable, number 3rd is page parameter, and the final and the most important variable type is data variable. So let's discuss first the app variable. It is used to store the information that needs to be accessible throughout the app. The information we need to share between the pages and in the all environment of app, we use the app variable. So like the username, like the email or the main information, the global information which will helpful for maintaining the data throughout the app, we use to store this type of information in the app variable. After the second variable is page variable. It is used to inform information that need to be accessible only for the current page. It means that the information which we don't want to share into other pages, if we these information are specific to the particular type of page, the particular page, like the some information we only need into the page, into the home page, like some information we only need into some other page, like the product page, like the customer page. The customer page has its own particular information, the product page has its own particular information. So this type of information we use to create the page variable. After that, page parameter. It is used to store the information that is required to open the current page. For example, if you have a product detail page that display information about the current product, the page required an ID for the product to display its data. It means that if we want to display the master detail information, when we click on the master data, it will redirect to the different page which will show the detail of that master record. For example, if we want to show the detail of any other master data like customer, like vendor, like asset, so for the detail we redirect the user to the detail page of that particular product, that particular asset. So while calling the detail page, these page parameters plays a vital role for calling the particular information of that product, of that master data. After that, we have the very important variable type, that is a data variable. It is used to store the information retrieved from an external data source. A data variable can be configured to either store a single record or a list of records. Let's move on. Here it is. Now in the screen, this is the environment option which is used to create any type of variable, either it is page variable, either it is page variable, either it is app variable, either it is page parameter or data variables or translation variable. We will discuss the translation variable later in this video. So for now, here are the three sections. On the left you can select the type of variable, and in the middle we used to do the setting, we used to do the creation of variable, to the removal of variable, and on the right side there is information regarding to the variable. Each variable have some particular variable type. So on the right side you can see there is a simple type, there is a different type of data variable are available. So we will discuss later in this video. Moving on, using data types. For using the data type, we must know how many data types are available in SAP Build. So first of all, we have the simple types, and the second type is text type with a specific format. The third one is reference types, and the fourth one is complex type. So let's discuss first the simple type. It has only the four types of data. Number one is number, which is store 1 2 3. Number two is boolean, true or false, and the third one is string, tree, Here we have the email address which have the particular specific format, because this email address have the format of at the rate, before at the rate, and after at the rate the domain name should become. So this type of data of like email address is called the text type with a specific format. So on the next we have the reference type. Reference type, for example, icon. For referencing any type of icon, we use the reference types data. For example, if we want to set any icon to any particular variable or any particular field, we use the type of icon which have the specific format of JSON, like this. Here for example, it's showing the SAT Fury name and Windows door. So it will give the particular icon by using this type of reference type. And the next type is complex type. Complex type have some specified format, and then it also have the object, list, and any value. These complex type have four different types. First one is complex, and then object, then list, and any value. An object is a wrapper that include a set of properties, each of which can have a data type itself. List, a set of values or object of the same data type. Any value of any type of value. So moving on, the next topic is using app and page variable. So before moving on, we just have to go straight to the environment of SAP Build App, so then you will explore yourself how we can create a variable and how they are managed in SAP Build App. So let's move on. And we call the app, it move straight to the home page canvas. But if we want to see the variables and the type of variables and their variable management, we have to go to the variables toggle. So we have to just click in the variables option like this. You can see, let's do again. If we click near to the variable, it will redirect, it will change the tab accordingly. So first of all, we have the app variable. As per SAP Build App, it's giving us the short definition of app variable which we have discussed earlier. So app variables exist globally in the context of whole app. They are initialized when the app open and exit until the app is shut down. They should be used for things that are accessed from many locations, such as currently logged in user, settings, data shared between different pages, and so on. We already discussed this. The next variable is page variable. For any type of variable creation, we just have to click on the add app variable. For page variable, we have to click on the add page variable. For page parameter, we have to click on the add parameter, and for the data variable, we have to click on the add data variable. And last but not least, translation variable. It is present like this. We just have to select the language. So let's move to the app variable. For this, let's create the app variable. Click on the add app variable. Let's name it to the application name. App name. We will store the application name here, which will show throughout the application. Here the different types exist, as we have discussed earlier. The complex type, we have discussed the text type with a specific format. Here the different type of image URL, icon name, UUID, and so on. And in the simple types, we have number, true, false, boolean, and the text. For now, I just select the text because we have to save only the application name value here. So initial value, I can say that the to do application. Task to do application. And now just save it. Here it is. Now our app variable has been created and the messages shows app successfully saved, and it saved the application variable. Moving on to the page variable. Here a different type of page variable exists: new task filter, selected task filter, show create task, and show filter. You can observe that the two type of show create task have the type true false boolean, and show filter have also the boolean data type, that is true false, and the two are the text new task title and selected task filter. So let's discuss more the page variable. What are the page variable? Here it is. Now let's if I zoom in for you, here it is. Page variable exists in the context of the current page. They are initialized when the page opens and removed from the app state when the page is closed. So they should be used for things that exist in the context of the current page, such as form idea, loading state of the current page, selected filter, and so on. It means the filters, the things which are specific to the specific page, will use the page variable to set the program flow or to set the proper filtering of that page data. So let's move on. We can also create page variable by clicking the add page variable like this. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom out. Now when we click on the add page variable, it will ask the variable name. Then we will have to give the page variable name, a page variable. So if we want to create any page variable, we have to click on the add page variable button, and then we will have to give the name of the variable accordingly. After that, we will only have to set the variable type. If the variable type is different from the text, we just have to select from the given list. After that, we just only have to click on the save button. Here it is. Now you can see the app successfully saved and the app page variable also been saved. Now let's move on. Page parameter. Let's zoom in. So then we will read the definition what SAP Build provides us. Let's zoom in. So then you will also see. Here it is. Now it's showing that page parameters are read-only text variable. Those values are set as part of the open page flow function used to navigate to a page. For example, you might pass the ID of a list item to a detailed page using a page parameter. This is the same thing which we have already discussed earlier in this video. So this means that if you are referencing some other page by using the data of the current page, so then you will pass the page parameter to that page, and the calling page will use these parameters for setting the data on the called page. Let's move on. The last but not least, data variable. These are the variable which I have discussed, that these are the variable which are very important for any application authority or any displaying of the data, because it holds the data which we have to display on application which we have display as per the user request. So let's find its definition by doing the zoom in. Here it is. Now the SAP build says that data variables are like page variables, but their schema is defined by the data entity they are linked to. Additionally, they contain default logic to fetch data from the backend and populate it to the variable. It means that the page variable are defined by the it means that the data variable are like page variable, but their schema is defined by the data entity. So each data variable has defined by a particular entity. So then we will use this variable to displaying the data or to populate the data from the backend. So let's move on. Last but not least, translation variable also being added. The translation variable is used for the usage by using the same application in the different language. So if you want to convert, if you want to give access to the other language also, so then you will have to select the particular language from the list item. Like I said, it here is Arabic. So all the detail will have to give, and then save, using the save button it will apply to the application. So there are some more points which we can discuss and find that when a user runs an ad and interacts with it, it generates data that perhaps doesn't need to be stored or changed in the backend service but needs to be available while the user is running the app. So when the user is running the app till the app is running, those data which we need for running the app, we use the app variable. So here are some example of data a user likely would went through the app. First one is current user's email address. As I said earlier, current user settings such as whether to have background music, and the other thing is status, for example the level they are at the game, current location, and so on. Here is the example of data a user might want only a particular page. For example, search term for a search, current page when paging through data records, current time for a page with a stopwatch, indicator of whether a field is disabled. So these are the example of the page variable. So then you can easily understand when we use the page variable and when we use the app variable. So let's move on. Creating a data variable. Data variable are always based on a data source whose schema is replicated on the data variable. So instead of defining a data type, the data type is taken from what was defined for the data resource. Here are some types of data variable data variable are used for fetching and updating data records and offer additional capabilities. When defining data variable, specify it as a collection, a single record, or an empty record to be added to the backend. For data from the OData service, you can apply OData filters for data retrieval. Data variables have a dedicated logic canvas, while app and page variable share one logic canvas with the application. Which means that the data variable has a dedicated logic canvas. You can easily manipulate, or you can easily update the logic regarding the data variable, whereas the app and the page variable share on the logic canvas with the application. So as we have mentioned, there are three types of data variables. One is collection of data record, the second is single data record, and the third one is new data record. For fetching the list of records, for fetching the many records, list of data records, we use the collection of data records. And single data record holds a single data record with the schema from the data source. And the last but not least, new data record. It is used for the creation of record normally and holds a single data record schema from the data source. This is used to create a new data record, as we have already mentioned before. Here it is. Now you can see the two data variable already created, but we will create a new data variable. So then we will explore, we will understand the data variable clearly. For new creation of data variable, we have to click on the add data variable. It will give the list of data entities which we can use. Here only one entity is present here, so I select to do. This is the entity. Now on the right hand side we have the three data variable type: collection of records, single data record, and the new data record. So when I select the collection of record, it will also give the option of filter, ordering, paging. And when I select the single data record, it's not offering, it's only giving the ID. So then we will select the single record, and when I click on the new data record, it's not giving any option, and because the new record has to be created by using this type of data variable. So I select here the collection of data record, and then I will give the name of a record, because we fetch record from using this variable. So I write is a fetch to do's, and then press the button save. Here it is. Now the app successfully saved. It means our data variable fetch to do's is also being created. So when I select the to do's, its logic can be changed by click on the button below here. Here it is. You can see it's already created the logic, the get record collection, and the set data variable by using the variable block. If you click on another variable, when go to the logic, so here you can see the separate logic has been built up for the other variable. So you can see that we can build different logic for different data variable. It's depend on the business requirement. So then we can build a logic according to the business requirement and according to the user needs. So this is a very short and familiarized and so this is a very short introduction and the detail of the variables, the importance of variables, and how we can add the variable, and what the types of variable SAP Build have, and what the and how we can change the logic for the variables. So we have explored a lot of things. If you learn something new from this video, to click on the like button. Also, if you are new to my channel, do subscribe to my channel for the new informative videos from my side. So thank you. Let's meet you another video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.